Firstly, you need to gather all of your ingredients. I like to pull everything out onto the counter, just makes it easier for me. Then preheat the oven and grease the pan. Mom says hi. Speaking of my mom, she knows that this is my least favorite part of any baking process. Then you'll want to cream the butter and sugar in your mixer ideally, because this is a really painful thing to have to do by hand. So while that's doing its thing, you can go ahead and prep all the other ingredients. In the case of this recipe, we have lemons to zest and juice, as well as the remaining ingredients to just measure out and set aside. I subbed out the sour cream for Greek yogurt because I find that I buy sour cream and then it just goes bad in my fridge, whereas Greek yogurt I'll actually eat. I got this lavender on Amazon for tea, actually, and it was unimpressive, so I decided to use it for this particular recipe instead. So in a separate bowl, combine your flour, baking soda, and salt. We're going to sift this into the mixture later. Now, once your mixture of butter and sugar is creamed, you'll add in 1 egg at a time. This is a pretty important step for pound cake, so make sure you don't just dump them all in there and mix it up. Funny story, I actually broke a glass at this part of the video. I don't know how, but somehow my egg was too strong for my glass, so use a fork, friends. Learn from my mistakes. Next, you want to add in your flour mixture and Greek yogurt in parts. You're going to do 3 parts of the flour mixture and 2 parts of the Greek yogurt, so you can just alternate flour, yogurt, flour, till everything's mixed in. My mixer is actually a hand-me-down from my mother. She's over 30 years old, but she's a workhorse. The only thing is I sometimes have to scrape the sides with a spatula because she can't quite get into the corners anymore. Last step in the mixing bowl is fold in the lemon zest, lemon juice, and lavender. Also, every time I think of folding now in regards to baking, I think of Schitt's Creek. If you know, you know. This part is especially fun with a bundt pan. 10 points if you've gotten it all over the center cone. This is also usually the part I scream husband and have Tyreek do it for me, but he wasn't around, so it was a make it work moment, as Tim Gunn would say, and I made it work. Then last step, stick that thing in the oven for 50 to 60 minutes. Depending on your oven and your humidity and altitude and many other things, you'll know how long you need. Just stick a toothpick in it when you think it's done to check, and it should come out clean. She's done! It should be golden brown, and the toothpick should come out clean if you use that trick. Obviously, do not touch it when it's hot, but once it's cool, you'll want to take it out of your pan so it can cool fully. I always like to cover up my mistakes with powdered sugar, so that's what I'm doing here. This particular recipe, which I will link in the description, calls for a lemon lavender glaze, but I'm often not a fan of glazed pound cakes, so I went with my usual powdered sugar method. I think she's quite pretty this way. And that's it. Now, the only step left is to enjoy your cake. This cake was absolutely delicious, super lemony, super floral. The lavender was very subtle. I think that the glaze could have punched up that lavender flavor a bit, but you know, you live and learn. All in all, delicious. 10 out of 10 would recommend this recipe, especially if you like pound cake, especially if you like sour cream pound cake. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week.